And boop. Hello. Hi, Echo Bear. Yeah, sweet girl. Let's first go down into the cave system. We need to be able to light this up because, as you can see, it is extremely dark down here, which means lots of potential mob spawns, which is not something that we want. If we're going to try to build a mob farm here, we are going to have to go and do a lot of caving, unnecessarily, I might add, because we could just build it in the middle of the ocean and have an AFK platform and all that, but we don't AFK on this world. If you didn't know, now you do. We do not AFK on this world, so we will have to build something that just kind of passively gets us what we need. We'll see how that works. We could easily build one with cats now, which would be probably better. Hard to really say, I guess, but probably better. All right, and with that done and dusted, let's go ahead and start getting rid of all of the sponge, all the water that we have left. Hello. Next pond, puddle, whatever you want to call it, section. Section Chief Strauss. If you know that reference, then you're a fan of that show. Wow, that was pretty dorky, not gonna lie. It's okay. Pretty dorky, though. Alright, so plan today is to get all of this stuff gone. If we can get all of this water gone, then we will be in a much, much better spot. We'll be able to start digging. And I know I was supposed to set up some lines so that I knew where to dig, but we're just going to wing it. I fully decided we're just going to wing it. Which is also something we do a lot here. I don't do any of my builds in creative. I don't, you know, any of that stuff. I just don't. So everything is on the fly, live and in person. And the beauty of this series, for those of you who may not know, for some crazy odd reason, the beauty of this series is each and every single moment is recorded. Now, for some people, that is not great. For some people, that is very good. They like having a vestigious amount of things that they can watch, right? And for me, it's more of a anti-cheat mechanism. That's kind of the purpose that I use this for. I don't like the edits, right? Like, I do and I don't. I love watching when you edit and like a massive amount of progress has been done in 3 seconds. However, if you are like me, you also work a full-time job. So you cannot commit to doing YouTube or doing Twitch with a low subscriber / viewer count, right? So that is why I do the way I do. Currently, or at the beginning of the year, and it has now been almost a full year now of daily uploads, where we have recorded each and every single second of not just this world, but 2 other worlds that we have come to and lost. And it's kind of just an experiment. I've wanted to see, like, will I gain subscribers? Will people like what I'm doing? You know, and then obviously there is sometimes something you can't really escape, and that is like 10 consecutive episodes of doing this. 10 consecutive episodes of getting rid of water, of digging, of, you know, all of that stuff to try to get something great. And Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will the Isles of Scalos here. On average, I would say, I don't know, takes about 24 total hours for me to make like real progress. Just because it is big. Like the scale in which I build is very, very large and in charge, right? And to do that, to do it well, takes time. Takes time, takes resource gathering, it takes patience because you want to get rid of all this water. Guess what? You got to do it block by painstaking block. And I think that is kind of beautiful, kind of poetic. And for me, as a poet to begin with, I think I really enjoy just like how we go about this here. I like that there is literally nothing you guys cannot see. You can go back and you can watch every single painstaking, grinding moment. Maybe you like to hear my voice for some reason. Maybe you like to hear my voice. I don't know. Maybe you like to hear me ramble. Maybe you like the end results of my builds. I don't really know why anyone has come. And I don't really care why anyone has come. But it just kind of amazes me, right? At the beginning of the year, whenever the hell we started this, we're about a month away from having full 365 episodes, so I would say it's the end of May, so let's say June is where the year will take place. And in that year, like, we haven't gained many subscribers, mind you. I do think we went up like, I don't know, 100 or so. Or, no. We went up 200, sorry. Because we were in double digits when we started this. We were at 68, I believe, is the number of subscribers that we started with. Or, yeah, for Twitch. And I never even imagined, to be completely honest, that we would get a single person. A single extra person watching. And y'all have really blown it away, truly. Don't know why, don't know who, don't know any of the underlying details, but it's pretty cool. And we're going to keep going with this little experiment as long as I possibly can. I don't want to do any kind of, like, cuts. Having said that, when I reach day 1,000, I am going to try to do my best and edit this all together. All, 100 and whatever episodes, 200 episodes that we have, I'm going to do an edit. And it will be the first one for this world. And it will be on day 1,000 that we are going to, that I'll start doing that. When we get to day 1,000, that's when I will go ahead and just start the editing process. And it's going to take me some time to get it, but I think that will be very cool as well. Maybe you guys can join me on my journey if you like what you saw. And, yeah, maybe we can just keep this thing going for as long as we can. Just keep the experiment up and just keep the vibes positive. Keep it going, really. That's all I can ask for myself. You know? That's all I can really ask. Just try to keep it going. As more positive of an attitude that you have, the better. I found that in life as well as in Minecraft here, and I think it is a very good sentiment to learn. Very, very good. So we are just going to try to knock out this here. We have not too much left of water to drain, it appears, so that is very nice. And as you can see, our squids are slowly becoming more and more homeless, which is great. But it also means we're going to have to set up probably 4 squid farms around the portal here to have any kind of chance at getting a decent rate here. The Isles of Schalus is simply too big. If I could put the squid farm directly in the middle, it would not be a problem at all. However, because you have to spawn it in a river biome or a ocean biome, well, that is not really in the cards for us. So I do think we're going to have to build 4 separate squid farms when this is all said and done. One on each of the 4 cardinal directions. And that should help us to get some kind of ink. Obviously, we got to figure out where they're going first, but I think that is very beneficial to us. And we're going to try our best to make them look adequate. We don't want them to look like just these boxes where squid rain, you know? I don't like that. Not a fan. It looks kind of gross. Like it's just a pure square shape. And I don't really know how to handle that. So I think we're going to have to come up with our own kind of squid design here, squid farm design. Because the internet simply tells you how to build the box. And we don't want the box. Of course, leave it to us to be difficult and go against the status quo. You know, we do. We always do. But I think that's fun. I think that is very fun, and if we can pull it off, all the more power to us. We can actually get that going. Now, I know that I really should should finish at least 1 or 2 bases in 1,000 days, and we'll see if that happens. You know, obviously we've been working on this one for a little bit now, but we can always go back to our fairy warrior encampment, or we can start again the nether base, or, you know, any number of things is what we can do here. And we really need to do that. We need to do it simply because, well, 1, we can. And 2, if it takes till day 1250 before I can, you know, have like some kind of closure to an episode, so be it. It doesn't have to be purely episode 1000, right? It can be 1250. It can be 997. You know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Point is, once we finish 1 or maybe both of these bases, we will put together a time-lapse video where me personally, will be your host, your narrator, and your confidant of conformity and your pilot of stimulational pleasure. I guess. That's what we're going with. Those are the words that have come out of my mouth. That's what we're going with. Even though it makes little to no sense, those are the words we have chosen, and we are weird people. So it's all good. We're good with being weird people. Have been my entire life, so I don't really know how to turn it off. Which, you know, some people love. Other people are like, what in the actual hell? This guy is deranged. He's a lunatic. No, absolutely not. Just derive great pleasure from torturing ourselves immensely. Like this build has already gotten like 3 times the size of what we wanted it to be. And it's probably going to get a little bigger. It's just how it works here. If you don't like it, there's the door. Well, I guess that doesn't work because there's obviously no door there. You can't see me gesturing to something that doesn't exist. Anyway, I digress. Let us eat some cake. No. Let's see here. So we're going to try and continue this pathway. I do need some dirt so that we can continue outlining properly here. Let's see. That should be fine. And then I don't really like the shape of this, so let's fix that. and come about this way just a little bit. All right, so then we want to keep our angle going a little bit higher, just kind of random variety of what we're doing here. And the plan is to make the Isles of Scalos a very, what would you call this? A very hilly area. Lots of slopes. I like that. And I think it'll work very, very nicely with what we got. So you'll see here that this area will become a little bit weird, because we're going to buff this out first before we do anything else. So first things first, let's get rid of some garbage that is in our inventories, like this cobble. Have all these torches and whatnot. Well, we haven't even used a stack. Okay. While we're waiting for night, let's go ahead and get us a bunch of dirt so that we can continue making this area what it needs to be, the big rolling hills, and hopefully we can make something work from it. Now, I know that it is kind of counterintuitive to get rid of all the dirt here, simply because, well, this area is going to have a lot of hills around it, all of which we're going to have to build by hand, by scratch. So it is kind of pointless for us to get rid of all these. However, I've never, ever once claimed to be an efficient Minecraft player. That is just not how I roll. I love the journey, the ambience, everything like that behind it. And so I try not to rush things, even though we are, 500 days in right now. Still, this is me not rushing. We have no current farms that even elicit any kind of behavior that allows us to AFK in the first place. The only thing, I'm trying to think, do we have any farms? And I honestly don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. We have a plan to make a guardian farm, for example, but we don't have the guardian farm. We have a plan to make a wither skeleton farm, but we haven't made the farm, so, nothing like that. No blaze farm, no XP farm other than my villagers. And even then, they're kinda terrible. Kind of terrible. Because we have effectively made all of these villagers and started all the process of getting the books and all this, but then they're not kept in their prisons. They are just roaming in a box for the moment because their city that they are going to live in is not done. And that's just how it goes. I do need to make this flat just so I can see what we got on here. See if it is the right shape, and if it's not, we'll have to make adjustments, which is fine. Alright, now we should be cleared to just tear the rest of this bad boy up. Get rid of this mound so we can kind of just see what's going on. Beautiful. Alright, flatten this whole baby down. And I guess we'll flatten the sand too, because why not? We'll use it. Again, let's get rid of that. Would love to have just a little bit more dirt, and that should be sufficient for us. And we really need to start turning now, so let's see if we could pull that off. So something along these lines, we need to go relatively straight here, I think. This is going to be a very weird ellipsoid shape when it's done here. I do think we need to go out a little bit. Still, it's fine. Like I said, we don't plan any of this out. This is all random in my brain, and we want it to be a shape, right? But what shape? I don't know. Let's fly up and just see how that line looks. See if we can even see it from the top of our post here. And let's go from there. Alright, so you can't really see it. So that means we need to change this to like 16 at least. Alright, so that feels okay. Up until that point there. So I think we need to go that way. Like, I think we're going to end up through this mountain. Oh, yeah. No, it looks really fine until that point right there. Then it no longer looks okay. I think like we've taken the curve just a little bit too much in one way or the other. Okay. Well, if that is the case, well, let's make the line a little bit closer here. I think we just need to... What do we need to do here? I think we just need to go directly here and then start the actual turning process right a little bit sooner here. Hopefully that'll be enough. So we want to just keep turning here, and now this is the part where we're actually going to go a slightly different direction than what we had originally planned. Do we have all of our sponges? We do. So let's just kind of do that. Something along those lines so that we would have something like this, and then I guess we're gonna keep going forward while we do this, so we're just gonna slightly veer off in a different direction here. And all of it should be at that height when we are done here, because, you know, we're crazy people. It's fine. It is fine. Alright, so what we really need to do is really start turning now. Like, we need to turn more so than we've ever turned in our freaking life. Like, right here. Perhaps. Right here. So let's start going this way. And we'll veer up as we can. Let's go right here. Just trying to give ourselves like a bit of an outline here that we can follow. And hope that it is the right outline. You gotta make it tall so it doesn't, or so it does stick out above this mountain here, which we may end up keeping. So that's cool. I thought I was going to have to rid it completely, and that was gonna be a fun chore. Very fun. Alright, so I think we should go this way, probably. We've got to keep up our height so we know where the hell we're going. And once we do that, now it looks like we can start going down again, almost. Yeah, this is just for a barrier. This is not going to look like this in the end, so don't worry about it. Don't fret, my pet. Alright, that should be good. And then we got to figure out which way we're going from here, right? So I'd like to link up from to there, which is like a pretty big area. It's not as big as I had anticipated, honestly, but it is up there for sure. So we're going to try to do the same thing on the other side here and just kind of dial in where we're going here. So where we're going. So we're going to dial this back just a little bit, I think, as we are progressing here. I got to look up and see. So it needs to go... It actually needs to go way more from here, I think, is what we're looking at. So let's just go up a little bit. Yeah, I think it needs to be a little bit wider on this shape. Since we cut a lot back over there, I do think we need to have these long stretches. So let's go ahead and just do that. And we should be able to get away with just 3 blocks. It's not that bad. Not that great, but not that bad. And of course, we're just going to go over the tops of trees because, you know, why not? Why freaking not? Alright, so now is the part where we really want to start this turning. Turn it all the way. Time to sleep first and foremost. Boop.